Peace to the gods, everyone. So, I had to post this up. This is a message, a very, very important message to whosoever needs to hear this. In the wake of the most recent shooting of Jacob Blake by a police officer. Of course, you all should know by now that Brother Blake is paralyzed from the waist down. Okay? So he's paralyzed from the waist down. Compliments of, Kenosha Overseer Department. Okay? And then there was rioting. There was rioting. And then there was protesting. A 17-year-old by the name of Kyle Rittenhouse comes to the protest. Doesn't live in Kenosha at all. Doesn't live there, okay? But he comes there with an AR-15, shoots 2 people, kills them, and injures another one as he's being attacked after he has shot and killed 2 people. 17-year-old Caucasian kid. Keep that in mind. That is what you call domestic terrorism. Of course, the media isn't, Fox News, CNN, and all these other media outlets. They're not going to call it for what it is because it's, it's Caucasian. They're not going to call it that, He's arrested, which personally I feel that's not going to do any good. It's really not. And to add insult to injury, the chief of that bogus police department, whatever it's called, made this statement that the death of 2 protesters would not have ever happened if people would have abide by the curfew. And I'm thinking to myself, you're wrong, asshole. None of that would have even taken place. You wouldn't have had protesters. You would not have had any rioting or damaging of property if your officer didn't shoot a man multiple times in his back, paralyzing him from the waist down. That's exactly what the fuck that chief should have been saying. But that's too much like right. That's too much like taking accountability for one of your busted, from one of your pussy footing, trigger happy officers. If this officer wouldn't have shot this man multiple times in the back, none of that shit would have ever happened. But as you can see, you have officers, you have individuals who are police officers or chiefs that are part of that little movement. You know, the white supremacist movement. You already know what it is. And then they cover it up. It's like, why? Why? Look here. To those who are going out protesting, let me give you some sound advice. Don't go out protesting if you're not going to arm yourself. Now, I get it, because it seems like the supremacists, the Caucasian supremacists, the KKK, the skinheads, and whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, they come out, they arm themselves. The rest of you protesters, help me understand why you're not arming yourself when you come out. In the event that one of them assholes decides they want to start shooting people, and it's quite obvious a lot of the protesters that are out there, they're not armed. So it's like free kill, bow, 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 bow. You hit whoever, and then you get away. And then furthermore, the police is just like, yo, come this way. What the fuck? It's like, so y'all all together. It's like, all right, well, since y'all all together, I need to go get mine. And just come spraying all in your direction. Whoever the fuck I hit. Because it's quite obvious. What's going on here? You shouldn't be out protesting. That's basically the message that they're sending to you. Don't come out protesting. My thing is, if you're not armed, don't go out and protest. Don't go out protesting if you're not armed. Because there's a good possibility you could get shot and killed. Not by doing the wrong thing or threatening someone else's life, but just protesting. Now, you shouldn't be out there. Don't be out there without some form of protection. Because now you see exactly what they're doing. As young as 17 years old, and they come out with an AR-15 and they start shooting people. Y'all better arm yourself. Y'all better arm yourself. So when these bastards come out and they raise their firearm, you raise yours too. You raise yours too. And when they shoot, you shoot too. Because it's one or two things going to happen. Either you're going to hit them or they're going to run. Keep busting. Keep busting until you start seeing them drop. And I know I should not promote violence, but when you bring violence, just make sure when you bring in that violence, make sure you're willing to die behind that shit. Make sure you're willing to die about that. Because I really and truly have this feeling. This boy, this 17-year-old is going to get pampered. It's going to get a little slap on the wrist. And someone's life, two people's lives have been taken from them. And it's just going to be like nothing. So this is what we've come to. It's like, damn, you can't go out anywhere. You can't go out anywhere without a face mask. You get attacked by that shit. You can't go out anywhere without being attacked based off of your skin tone. I don't know about you, but I'm so fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. Something has to be done. And there's something that has to be done. And the government can't even help. The police can't even help. This is something that we will have to do for ourselves. So again, if you plan on going out protesting and whatnot, do so. Do what you feel, but don't go out there empty-handed. Don't let a motherfucker tell you, oh, you can't. Don't bring your firearm. What the fuck you mean? What you mean don't bring my firearm? Because if a Caucasian Neanderthal asinine imbecile as young as 17 years old can go to a protest and be armed, then you should be armed too. Don't let a motherfucker tell you, oh, you can't have that firearm on you. What the fuck you mean? I'm not gonna be out here willy-nilly and some bastard having to come out here with an assault rifle and then start shooting people and I can't shoot back. My son, my daughter, my significant other could get hit and I'm wide open. Better yet, I could get hit. And there's no means of me protecting myself. I was like, because the police or the National Guard standing out there, they're not jumping in front of the bullet for me. It's like, for real. If they're not out jumping in front of the bullet to protect you, what they out there for? Because once a bullet is fired and someone is hit, it's too late to say anything. It's too late to really do anything at that point. But these types of individuals, you need to keep your eyes on. Like, for real. You start seeing some Caucasians with assault rifles at a protest, and that bitch is not pointing straight down. It's at an angle where it's up. Y'all keep your eyes on the motherfuckers. Y'all keep your eyes on the motherfuckers. And if you have a firearm, you keep your hand on your firearm while you watching them. So in the event they happen to raise that joker up and they start shooting, at least you won't have to worry about it. At least you'll be able to snip that shit in the bud real quick. 3 shots to the dome, keep that shit moving. Be careful while you're out here protesting, people. Wherever you are, please be careful. Protect yourselves. That's your right. That's your natural right. You don't have to wait around on these overseers, National Guards, or fuck them. Protect yourself, your family, by any means. Be safe, y'all.